The isolation is the point. Researchers there have been running long-duration confinement studies for years. Small groups of male volunteers, sealed environments. No natural light, simulated Martian day cycles, engineered social structures designed to test whether human beings can build functional communities when Earth is completely removed from their psychological reality. Not just physically, emotionally. The early results were quietly remarkable. After several months, something shifted in the participants. Their references to home became less frequent. Their problem-solving became more collective. Their identity started anchoring itself to the group rather than to anything they left behind. The researchers called it adaptive detachment. Others called it something closer to grief. A slow, quiet mourning of one world that makes room for another. And that is the real foundation of SpaceX's plan. Not the mirrors. Not the microbes. Not the rockets. The foundation is the human being who can look at a cold, dead, ancient planet and choose to love it anyway. Choose to build on it. Bleed for it. Die on it. And trust that the generations who come after will carry the work forward. That is the plan. 1,000 years of commitment. Started by a handful of people. Sustained by every generation that follows. And somewhere right now, the first phase of that plan is already running. The mirrors are being designed. The microbes are being engineered. The settlers are being quietly prepared. And Mars, ancient and frozen and waiting, has no idea what's coming. Neither, honestly, do we. If this kind of story makes you think differently about the world we live in, there are more of them here. All you have to do is stay. And in the internal language of SpaceX's long-term colonization framework, staying isn't a choice you make once. It's a condition of the mission. The researchers studying settler psychology for this program have been working on one specific question for years. What kind of person willingly gives up Earth forever? Not for a year. Not for a decade. Forever. No oceans. No open sky. No familiar gravity pulling at your bones the way it has every single day of your life. The psychological screening process being developed isn't looking for the bravest people. It's looking for the least attached. People with a specific cognitive profile. People who don't grieve what they leave behind the way most humans do. And that quiet detail changes the entire emotional texture of this story. Because it means the city on Mars won't be built by the best of us. It will be built by the ones most capable of letting go of everything that made us human in the first place. There is a name inside research circles for this psychological threshold. The point of no return. Not physical. Mental. The moment a settler stops thinking of Earth as home. And starts thinking of Mars as the only world that matters. Some researchers believe that threshold can be engineered. Trained into a person before they ever leave the ground. And the program to do exactly that is already running. Quietly. In a facility most people have never heard of. In a location that was chosen very deliberately. The facility sits in the high desert of New Mexico. No public signage. No official press coverage. Just a cluster of low buildings surrounded by landscape that looks, deliberately, like nowhere on Earth you'd want to stay. Some of them already exist in nature. Found in the driest deserts on Earth. Found deep inside Antarctic ice. Found in volcanic rock where no sunlight ever reaches. SpaceX and affiliated research teams have been studying them for years. Not just studying, modifying. The goal is to send these organisms to Mars before any human crew arrives. Let them land. Let them spread. Let them begin converting carbon dioxide into something breathable. Slowly. Over decades. The microbes don't know they're part of a plan. They just survive. And in surviving, they begin to change the world around them. It sounds almost beautiful. Until you remember that the last time humans introduced a foreign organism into an environment it wasn't designed for, the consequences took generations to fully understand. And some of them are still unfolding today. But the scientists pushing this forward aren't ignoring that risk. They've studied it, modeled it, and some of them have raised concerns that were quietly shelved. One researcher, a soil biologist who spent years working on closed ecosystem projects, reportedly walked away from the program entirely. He didn't speak publicly. He just stopped showing up. Nobody explained why. And the project moved forward without him. Because the timeline doesn't wait. And here is where the plan stops being science. and starts being something else entirely. There is a word that engineers use when they talk about terraforming Mars. Irreversible. Once you start warming a planet, most people think the Mars mission is about getting there. It's not. Getting there is just the first sentence of a story that spans 10 centuries. SpaceX engineers don't talk about this publicly. But the internal roadmaps exist. And the people who've seen them describe the same reaction. Silence. Not excitement. Because when you read the full timeline, something shifts in your chest. This isn't a space program. It's a planetary surgery. Mars today is cold. Brutally cold. The average surface temperature is minus 60 degrees Celsius. The atmosphere is 95% carbon dioxide. There is no magnetic field strong enough to protect a human body from solar radiation. Nothing grows there. Nothing breathes there. Right now, it is one of the most hostile environments in the known universe. And SpaceX's plan is to change all of it. Deliberately. Systematically. Over generations. The first stage doesn't involve humans at all. No astronauts. No boots on the ground. Just mirrors. Enormous orbital mirrors, positioned above the Martian poles, designed to focus sunlight onto the ice caps and begin melting them. Part 2 in university research facilities quietly funded by aerospace money. Scientists have been engineer. The goal is simple on paper. Release trapped carbon dioxide. Thicken the atmosphere. Begin warming the planet from the outside in. It sounds almost manageable when you say it like that. Until you realize the mirrors they're designing are larger than some cities. And that's just the beginning. The hard part is what they plan to put inside it. In laboratories that don't make headlines. For Mars. Microorganisms. Specifically designed to survive conditions that would kill everything else we know. They call them extremophiles. Microbes that can endure radiation, sub-zero temperatures, and atmospheres almost completely